Hi guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read for you, and I'm going to get into it in a second. I just wanted to thank you all for all of your likes, shares, subscribes, and your comments as always. If you should need anything from me, all my stuff is below. It's twinflames3344.com and at gmail.com. I just wanted to say thank you too to some of the artists that I have supported. So this one is a portrait of my and my twins' energies, and that's from Lightstar. And then this painting here is from, and I hope I'm not saying your name incorrectly, it's Vladimir Marievsky, and it's very beautiful. This one is I forget what it's called. This one has, I don't know if you can see them on my screen, but there's two little angels walking in the forest, so it's really beautiful. I also have, oh, there's just one more I wanted to show you. Also from Emily at Twins in Union. She had done this one for me and my twin as well. Okay, so you can see all the sparkles up close there. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, so first of all, the energies. Well, today feels fine. Last night, can't say so much. From like 9 to 10 o'clock, I had a really, really bad purge. I was crying really hard. We were purging out. Really has to do with self-hatred, right? Because when we're learning, when we go through all this pain, that we're causing it to ourselves, we're fighting ourselves, we're at war with ourselves. And really what came up so much last night for me was, like, how could my twin hate me so much as to never reach out and say 2 words? So this was the wound that was coming up last night to purge. But I haven't felt one of those in a long time. So some of you may have experienced this. Well, you may be clearing for the collective. So don't just assume it's all about you and not having cleared what you thought you cleared already. You may be clearing for the crucifixion energies this weekend. There's a lot coming up right now. So don't judge yourself. It is April 20th, 2019. The 20 is the judgment. It's the judgment day, the final judgment. But it's just really about making decisions. Okay, so when you decide one way or the other, it's a judgment. Which one do I like better? So there's nothing wrong with that. It's about staying away from negative judgments, including yourself, which brings up self-forgiveness as well, which is a big theme for today, self-forgiveness. And as I woke up again today, I was getting again the song from Bread, "You come and pour yourself on me." I'm just blanking out on the name. If the world should stop revolving, spinning slowly down to die, I'd spend the end with you. And when the world was through, then one by one the stars would all go out and you and I would simply fly away. And that came up the day too, where I found the feathers and the 2 feathers flew away. So it was really beautiful energy. When I went outside to ground this morning, it had been a little bit rainy, and when I wrote down sprinkling, I was getting spring clean. So it was a spring clean this weekend. And as I get into the read, it was done at 10:19, and 19, of course, is of the sun, the masculine energy. The major arcana were the Lovers, Transition, and Shadow. And this is the Syrian Starseed deck. And we have 2 swords, 2 cups, 1 pentacle, 3 wands. The court cards were just the King of Swords in the crowning position, but also the card after the read was the Page of Pentacles. And the numbers and message behind the coding today was all about love. It was just love. Okay, lots of numbers came up. I have 2, 32, 8, and 42. 32 being that journey card, the 6 of Wands, and 42 being the 2 of Cups. But also 22, which is the Fool, 88, which is Lionsgate, It's also the two twins, perfectly integrated and doing the dance within themselves. 28 is the twins, which the masculine sees himself as the two flames today. And the sequence 1, 2, 3 came up, as well as, and 1, 2, 3 jump, I'm just getting, 1, 2, 3 jump, go for it. You know, when you're first learning to swim or dive off the diving board, 1, 2, 3, go, right? 12 is wisdom of the hangman. 23 comes up as the King of Wands. 35 as the Wounded Warrior or Mary Magdalene energy. 58 comes up, which is the Four of Swords, the number 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, the Destiny card, the high vibration. The number 810, so it might be an area code of someone. Also 2213, so 22 is the Fool and 13 is transition, transformation, death. And that card did come up in the to come, but in the that might be a positive thing for you, but in the near future position, we have this death card, but in the Sirian Starseed deck, it's literally a portal. So it's definitely that portal of going from one dimension to another. So as we get into this, just give me 1 second. I forgot to pull the cards. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. So I do have the cards here. There's some very beautiful energies in the read today. The Lovers were presented, as well as the Ace of Cups. And what else? The Three of Cups. The King of Swords I told you about. The two flames. And we'll get into some of the other ones, the fire energies, that kind of thing. So from the Sirian Starseed deck, you know, the pictures are often different, so that death card is very much of that portal energy. And I was getting today that the portal's wide open, like you can't even see the gate today. That's how wide open the portal is right now, so the energy is very free. The energy was all about love in the code line, and then the coding had to do with so the letter T was coming up, and for me T has to do with toggling, and definitely if it's T, it's toggling to the etheric realms, right? So when you connect your etheric cord, when you ground to the center of the earth, you also connect to the central sun or Andromedan, wherever you guide your energy to go. That is what I see the T as, the toggle upward. So grounding yourself to the etheric realms. And we're getting this energy in reference to the journey to the nth degree, working on details of your high vibration. And I was getting touch tone and touchstone. I don't know if I could show this to you. It's plugged in. I can't, you're not supposed to touch this with your hands. I think I'm plugged in here. Drop it. I don't think I can do that. If I can show you, but my I have a sculpture. It's called Touchstone, and it's literally it's Michael Wilkerson, and he works with a polymer that NASA uses to make these sculptures, and they're beautiful. You have to check out his art as well. But mine is Touchstone. One he did I bought this many years ago, and it's about they're looking at each other, and she's looking up and searching the heavens for him, and as you go around it, she literally is looking like this, like she's searching the heavens for her love, her true love, and then the masculine is looking down like this, feeling sad that he can't find his true love. And that's very much of the twin flame dynamic. So, and Spirit's connecting with me. So when I got touch tone, and which always guides me to touchstone, I was also being guided to let you guys know to touch tones, music, and touch stones. So get into your crystals and your music. Okay, this is very important to keep your high vibration. I was also getting Tootie from Facts of Life. Tootie was coming up, as well as King Tut. King Tut. But King Tut was coming up, as well as, this was kind of funny, I was getting Twat, and nothing negative about Melissa Etheridge, but then she was coming up in the coding as well. It was like she was calling herself a twat, Melissa Etheridge, so I'm not sure why she's coming up, but this is important for some feminines out there. And it was coming up to the nth degree as far as detail work. and aligning and cracking codes. And of course she was a musician, and that's what musicians do. That's what their poetry is. It's about cracking the codes of universal consciousness. Also, 2 T's were coming up. So 2 T's can be TT, temper tantrum, but it also is pi. So integration within oneself of your masculine and your feminine. But also 2 different T's were coming up. So you might want to use T as helping you keep your high vibration. I was also getting the Empress and the High Priestess. The ite, like, all right, of crystals or cry stalls. All right, so when you're going through purging, could be avoidance tactics or stalling tactics to go back to trying love, reconnect with your higher self. Right? And then, so again, 2 T's, which is the pi, which comes up later in the read too as well. Pi, of course, 3/14 is my daughter's birthday, so it always comes up for me. But it's also Einstein. And my father happened to work at Einstein, so there's a lot about pi that resonates with me. But also it came up as a Valentine's Day. Yeah, I think it was Korea. If I'm wrong, I'll revisit that at the end of the read. But they do Valentine's Day on February 14th, but also 3/14 is actually when the men give something to the women. I forget if that was Taiwan or Korea, but I'll let you know at the end of the read. But that was coming up. 2 T's or pi. So temper tantrums might be coming up, right, to release. Of course, when I was purging last night, there was definitely some anger because of the hurt coming up. To release those frustrations to the nth degree, the shaman. So bring out your shaman and your centering of self to the nth degree to work to align and crack the codes for the high vibration of love, always. So as we start the read, it started again today with the 10 of Orbs again. That was yesterday's underlying energy as well. So today it was the 10 of Orbs with the 2 of Orbs beneath it. All right, so that's the 2 of Orbs in the Sirian Starseed deck. Okay. So, and you see in this card too, the person has a lab coat on. So it's, or it looks like someone in a lab coat, so it could be very medical oriented as well, you know, someone with back pain or at the hospital getting tests. But the 10 of Orbs as the second day, because remember I told you the downloads I'm getting is that the 18th was the crucifixion day, and that was coming up as the underlying energy as the Tower. So I haven't researched the information about this, and I didn't grow up in religion at all. So I don't even know what the time of death was. So I'm just, this is probably why they use me for this anyway, because I don't have any prior knowing of anything. So I'm kind of a clean slate. But the 18th was coming up the Tower, and then yesterday and today are both coming up the 10 of Swords. So it's the pain of the suffering of Jesus and Mary Magdalene together. So we had the 10 of Orbs yesterday and today. Lovers in deep pain of betrayal, of knowing and not doing anything about it. So that was very much about, you know, the energies I was receiving last night as well. To make googly eyes from across the room and never then come forward, just like when you're teens and someone likes you but they're afraid to come forward because they're afraid of rejection. A message or news of purging, crying and or stress, hopelessness, wanting to die and end the pain, to go back home to love is not incorrect, except you don't have to die to do it. Right? Because we all want to go, when you want to die, it's because you want to go back to being all love. You want to feel free and loved again. So stuck emotions preventing peace, of unhappiness, unsatisfied, arrogance in pretending to be powerful, but actually drained of money, power, and independence. For the masculine, running away or stealing from a group, church, work, or noble place of co-creation, or could just be stealing away from, or escaping from a group, choice that you don't agree with, or a diagnosis, or a religious connection, or a creative connection, or just stuck in pain, the Divine Masculine refusing to see the happiness, power, and sovereignty of him and his twin together. The peace his life would be, just by finding satisfaction alone, and having faith in the present moment, trusting yourself as knowing more than the others about yourself, trying to run your life to their benefit and not yours. So again, the peace his life would be just by finding satisfaction alone on his own, by having faith and staying in that present moment, trusting himself as knowing more than the others who are trying to run your life to their benefit and not yours. So you're the only one who knows what's best for you. And that's why you need to be the last word on what's best for you. In knowing by and instead of silver moon, I was getting the sliver moon, or the slivery moon, which is the small moon right before and after the new moon. So in your knowing masculine, as by the slivery moon, you must awaken or pass due from last new moon to end the cycle. Thoth has the divine feminine sealed and waiting with the other piece of DNA that you need. This full moon packed a powerful punch for the Knight of Cups to align and crack codes as Jesus rises in his knowing, along with sealed Mary Magdalene. And I turn the page at 10:57, and 57 is the Three of Swords, and don't forget the different perspectives. So that could be separation and heartbreak, but it could also be the three wise men, right? Because each is a sword. They're very wise. And then as I wrote Jesus rising in his knowing along with sealed Mary Magdalene, I was getting, someone's knocking at the door, somebody's ringing the bell, and that was at 11 o'clock, the 11th hour. Cinderella's about to change back into a pumpkin, slowing down as you get older. Old man falls if he doesn't stop to appreciate the beauty of the waterfalls, the water falling, release of emotions, release of ego. Pull the cord and stop the bus, no longer willing to ride at the back of the bus anymore, or the front of the bus if dealing with junior high teens. The lobster is up in arms as dogs wonder what this full moon has done to him. And this is the lobsters, the divine masculine, saying, I've got a long path to traverse. Now get the frick out of my way. I have codes to crack and love to offer. New love as Holy Communion. And shadow work to align with as well. New love as Holy Communion is the Eucharist meets the Holy Grail. Jesus' final dive into her cup of tea, his seed planted in her heart, the sun rays to Gaia, creating new growth, the secret of your life. And this is a line from Player's Lullaby, a song of mine. The secret of your life. Hold your chin up and don't be in such a hurry. Your life will catch up. And though we will cry and though life will pass us by, you will know, because the story's been told, that you are someone who can't be gotten, but your heart's the same. So with the sun rays down to Gaia, creating this new growth, this with the High Priestess and emotional fulfillment, the masculine implementing a split, cutting out what no longer serves. Excalibur pulled from the divine masculine's throat chakra after being muzzled, threatened if he spoke. The bullet holes of karmic's past, redemption at last. As the divine masculine pulls the sword from the stone, the throat always sticks out for the masculine, but not so much for the feminine. The divine feminine pulls the thorn from the lion's paw. As the lamb, the meek inherit the earth. Gold coins replanted and used to manifest happy family and home. A handle on the lie that is pain. It doesn't require a sword, only your truth, only love of self, because that is your truth. Separation from, and beneath that was codependency, extending an olive branch, putting the tiny violin aside for twisted pillars on which the vines will trap them, the grapevine. Laying down the bow, for all he requires at the moment is the arrows of love, choice of weapon, flame in DNA, No bones about it, not even right elbow or right knee pain, and limp right wrist. The apple fell far from the tree this time. So as we turn the page, it's now 11:24, and 24, of course, well, 11 is justice, and 24 is the Queen of Wands. Exposing love in the bright flames burning what no longer serves in the Y chromosome, ego lineage. Heads up, crown open, curtain drawn. No more excuses not to wake. If they don't serve. So for those who've tried to awaken and refused to wake up, and it was just 2044, 20 is just judgment again, and 44 is the mastering of it. So if they don't, then they don't serve. If they refuse to wake up, then that's on them. You now need to let go and leave. The drunk girl in the shopping cart from Animal House gets picked up and thrown in jail, reflecting her worth if she goes on like this, or gaining a beer belly, or a son with someone she doesn't want to be with because she was drunk. All the things that happen when you put your heart up on the shelf and don't use it. It's just 21-21, the end of the cycle for both, 21-21. Your choice, it's all expansion. So there's no judgment of any of this, but it can be fun and happy, or it can be painfully slow and lonely. Bend knees to one side and stretch back arm to the other side to release some tension in twisting hips and the psoas muscle. Get some sun and rest, and of course fruits and veggies best. Touch your toes together, heels out while sitting. Spend time in the garden with flowers and growing fresh veggies. A treehouse perhaps for some time alone in nature. And then it was 11:37 as a car went really fast north. And that was 37 is the King of Cups, unconditional love. Individuality comes out for the masculine as the number 11 and justice. Okay, so justice is being your authentic self. It was just 22-22. The Fool with an open heart perpetually, always taking a leap of faith. Underneath individuality was synchronicities, 87. 87 reduces to 15, the devil, and also the 6. So remember, part of love is the shadow and the light, the stuff we have to deal with on a daily basis. Okay? The daily shadows that we all know we have to live with. The sun exposes all and energizes to grow. Cancer, Leo, Virgo are highlighted here as secrets are told and masks come off by the slivery moon. And then I was getting the song. By the light, by the light, by the light of the slivery moon. So I'm told to use slivery instead of silvery. So when they're doing the song, they say, by the light of the slivery moon, not the dark, but the light. And then the moon is not this, instead of not the sun, but the moon, I'm supposed to say, not the full, but the slivery moon. Not the full, but the slivery moon. I want to spoon, not the knife, but the spoon. To my honey I'll croon love's tune. And then honeymoon. Not the full, but the slivery. Keep a shining in June. Not May, but June. Your slivery beams will bring love's dreams. We'll be cuddling soon by the slivery moon. Because there's not much reflecting there, okay? So there's no false energy coming down at that time, is the energy I'm getting here from the song. So it was kind of fun as well. So exposed, lack of intuition, as the divine masculine not getting along at work, or leaves his work, or third party through work, lets go of holding on to justice served, like needing justice, needing closure. For justice is Jupiter, happiest and light, not throwing stars down the stairs, only justice with gold in dealing with the justice system since humans run it. Okay? So there's only justice with your gold coin, your gold coin of the Christ consciousness that you were born with. your gifts, your talents. So only justice with gold in dealing with the justice system, since humans run it. So your justice is only that. You're not going to get justice with the justice system. And besides, that's not going with the flow and allowing the universe to help you, because the universe knows so much more than you do, because it's like the oversight of the whole universe, whereas you can only see so many things. The universe is saying go with the flow, because I got your back. Don't worry, I can see everything. I know what's going to happen eventually, so you need to trust me to have your back. Don't trust the justice system, because they're humans, and that's allowing someone else to tell you what's best for you. So of course we have to deal with it at times, but you understand the point. Balance and fairness comes from inner harmony, letting go of clinging mentality. Time to quit what no longer serves, and green-eyed monsters. They're focused on money instead of focusing on you. Your fleur-de-lis, royal lineage of violet, purple, and emerald, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, and pure intention of white lilies, not white lies or impatience. Aster, as a Sophia, urgent anchor. Patience is connecting to higher self urgently when disconnected from your intuition. Libra upright, Leo upright, Pisces both directions, and Gemini both directions here. A lot of fighting, lying, and crying, while Cancer and Pisces step aside to transmute great pain of the collective, and Sagittarius is in hiding and rising above, working on themselves. At 12:01 we turn the page, and 01 of course is the Magician. As justice of lovers in knowing, worst of the pain over, living by the truth, dying by the truth, or align with gold coin and crack the codes. Da Vinci Code. Okay, when you're in separation, crack the codes. So we're getting the Da Vinci Code, then we were getting murder in the Louvre, right? So in the Da Vinci Code, there was a murder in the Louvre, the girl who wouldn't wake up, like the girl in the shopping cart from Animal House, the game of Clue, because you have to figure it out, and then the foundations of Christianity, the walls coming crumbling down, the walls of Jericho. So then the movies were coming up. Ron Howard, it's his movie, The Da Vinci Code, and then of course Tom Hanks was the star. So we remember going back to the foundations, the simpler times. Ron Howard was Happy Days, and Tom Hanks was Bosom Buddies. So remember, oh, it was so much more simple then, or has time rewritten every line? If we had the chance to do it all again, tell me, would we? Could we? Memories. Okay, so memories, that's Barbara Streisand, of course, and Spirit's connecting with me. So some more of Tom Hanks' movies were coming up for the coding here, for you to pay attention to. So Tom Hanks, Philadelphia, Forrest Gump. Sophie was the other person in Da Vinci Code, Sophia. The Green Mile, all about the money. Catch Me If You Can, The Runner. Castaway, The Betrayal. Also, then just going back to the simpler times of Happy Days and Bosom Buddies, right? So with the justice system, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Because happiness is your justice. And by the way, Bosom Buddies was from 1980 to 82. So then Leonardo da Vinci was coming up, and Leonardo was born April 15th, 1452. And that's interesting now that I look back, because when I did the Valentine's dates, in the culture where that's 214. He was born on 4/15, which we just passed because that's tax day, with Matthew and being the tax man. Everyone has to pay their dues on tax day. That was the day that Da Vinci was born. And his life lesson number was that 31-4 of the Five of Wands, that expansion energy, competition. And of course his art rival was Michelangelo, who did the David, of course, and the Last Judgment. And some of the Da Vinci paintings that I was guided to bring up were the Annunciation, the Baptist of Christ, the Madonna of the Incarnation, and the Adoration of the Magi. the three wise men, the Last Supper, and the Mona Lisa. Is she really who you think she is? Is she really all that? Mona Lisa hangs in the Louvre as well as St. John the Baptist, and those both came up. So recently, the lovers giving up battle of wits, no longer defending. So here's the lovers in the recent past for the masculine here. Lovers giving up the battle of wits, no longer defending wounds with verbal abuse and or silent treatment. Message or news of fighting and conflict, competition while others fighting off the crowds. So think of what happened after Jesus died on the cross. You know, everyone's going to want to see, right? Just like here in our day, when some kind of accident happens, the police have to make barricades so that people don't come in. Well, this is coming up as Jesus on the cross as well. The conflict and competition while others fighting off the crowds. Children selling tickets to War of the Roses. Page of Cups saying, leave me out of this. Okay? The Page of Cups being Jesus' energy, the Divine Masculine. Leave me out of this. Fighting for riches with bodyguards, with the media, verbal abuse and gossip. The circus of the court system. Lies and lawyers trying to decipher the truth behind the scenes without pain and without emotion, because they have to be very detached. The foundation of the Three of Cups. Only two were showing, not seeing eye to eye, a disconnect, a breakup, the worst is over, angel rises above, bowing out of the situation. Wedding canceled or marriage separation, third party being patient. Centrally, new love, self-love, spiritual love. Destined to come together, not working, or can't focus on work, knowing he's transforming death of a rose to come together with love. Empress and kids moving, or moved. The Knight of Swords and the Page of Wands may be unstable due to Page of Wands siding with Empress. And not okay with that, or needing clarity of strange tidings. A child that's too loyal to their mother with strange vibes around it. As I'm writing this, my next door neighbor's coming home, and the son, who's got the same name as the father, is talking gently to the mother while the mother's yelling at him, and he was standing in the bed of the truck. So that was paralleling what I was bringing up between a mother and son. So there may be some kind of inappropriate relationship, or just that doesn't serve the masculine. So 1247, 47 is the Seven of Cups, which are synchronicities. So I'm just giving you a synchronicity. A mother not showing affection to a child. So it could just be a relationship with a Divine Masculine and his mother where she was very detached and didn't show emotion. Or two kids who fight all the time with mother as a Divine Masculine separates from them. New love, dreams come true, challenged by working on crystal details, molding a presentation, a gift, like the little drummer boy, manifesting a decision, clarity. The King of Pentacles, justice of peace. The King of Pentacles, justice of peace, and Page of Cups reversed makes wise man 3. The good wise man, the justice of the peace, and the rejected little boy, now Magi, the magician, with clarity. Hiding the guilt and shame of 5 cups, Russian roulette, not passing the baton. 5 of 9, the percentage now, the karmic bullet will catch him next time. So if he keeps going back to the same situation, repeating the patterns, you know, he's playing Russian roulette, because this time he may not survive. Having chosen dark past with karmic over and over again, repeating pattern of self-abuse, co-creating a work or place of worship or of creation with messenger of death, the Grim Reaper. Misery loves company. Energy vampires, the one who reaps others' gold coin, steals their self-love and makes them feel guilty about it, right? So you're double screwed there, right? Death of a rose is no compassion for others, when superficial life becomes your focus. Air sign males are the focus at present. The King of Swords, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini, with big dreams, not expressing feelings of feeling incomplete. World is upside down, feeling like he's in another world, otherworldly, or literally in another world as the world turns. Love bubbles and flames and synchronicities everywhere, like blowing bubbles, detoxing the dark energies right out of his life. No holds barred, which in other words means, from Merriam-Webster, free of restrictions or hampering conventions, as in the justice system. King of Cups, unconditional love, dumping that which no longer serves to offer love. Aquarius longing for him to return so she can reject him, so that could be a karmic energy, or his dreams, and that could be a feminine or a masculine, like a boss or a partner, where they can't wait for them to come back again because they always have before, so that they can now reject them this time. Okay? So Aquarius longing for him to return so he or she can reject him, or his dreams, healing longing of letting go of fear of rejection and passing the baton as he lets go of the past altogether. Sometimes we show compassion by letting them go. The King of Wands loves Mary Magdalene yellow. It was 111 at that time. Twin of his past, who allowed him to be happy so he could take off and leave her obsessing, or just that that's him now, obsessing about his guilt and shame. For her having judged him so gently, without the third strike and you're out, which I guess he's used to. Crowning the King of Swords with the Queen of Pentacles back turned and grieving, with dysfunctional family, or her losing money and stability over him because of her grief, but with a new passion because of it. The Queen of Wands has been distracting him, blocking his view of the Queen of Pentacles, but with flame always there between them, no matter what. She can't really block the energy out of his life. The Knight of Wands rescue efforts caused silencing of the lambs. If he protects someone from his twin, he also protects them from him. If he rescues his twin, he also rescues himself. Keeping quiet about being inspired creates obsession and desperation. A pressure cooker released now by the full moon, the light of the slivery moon, snake-like really. Second prize is always false light, because you each always are worthy of your gold coin, which is your birthright. Kids can help you get back to you when you lose your gold coin on the way through your journey of life. The kids, they see more clearly the truth of things, not so tainted as their parents from prior wounds. Parents cracking the whip to protect the kids, as opposed to cracking the codes of revelation. So soon, oh, and I forgot to show you these. So this was the challenge card of the masculine working with crystal energy. And then crowning the reed is the masculine, the King of Swords. This can also represent legal representation, or something of the court systems, the police as well. But soon is the transition happening behind the scenes. The truth behind the play, the show, the performance. Juggling 0 point as he receives the divine feminine truths. Using high vibe energies to transmute clinginess and wanting to die and near-death experiences, or miscarriage or abortions exposed. Backroom abortions now up for clearing just now, never spoken about. So think about this, how many young girls have died because they weren't ready to grow a child, let alone care for one or give one away, right? So many young girls doing this, and then died because of a backroom abortion, wanting to be able to control their destiny, to learn. So their lesson from that was to learn that we really have no control, really. An abortion with self-love intent reaps a miscarriage with self-love intent. An abortion with self-loathing intent can reap in many ways. May not even be a direct way, it may come back to somebody else. But cutting away love, whether it's a child or just fat, is thinking you can make yourself happier by cutting off a piece of yourself, your heart, your light. No one can punish us, and there's no judgment there, okay? No one can punish us like we already punish ourselves. By cutting away the light, you only create more darkness. Showing compassion for others' choices, some girls and women may abort in fear of their lives, in fear of being killed. So why would you judge them when you shouldn't be judging any of them? Their choices, they reconcile with their higher self and with God, okay? Do not judge, not even if walked a mile in their shoes. We forgive ourselves too. All right, so it's saying, do not judge, even if you've walked a mile in their shoes, because we don't only forgive others, we also forgive ourselves too. So if you walked a mile in their shoes and you're judging them, then you're judging yourself. You haven't forgiven yourself. All for one and one for all. Forgive, rejoice, and show compassion. 139 as we turn the page, and 39 is the Knight of Cups, and it was 41. 11. 41 is the Ace of Cups, and 11 is, again, justice. Justice is offering love. Bleeding out from the darkness and betrayal wounds, the Emperor Warrior, at war with self, takes himself down in heartbreak and separation over home and union. Guilt-ridden, separated from self, just connect again. Forgive self in transition portal that's wide open. Can't even see the gate right now at the moment, it's so wide open. Divine Masculine is seeing himself as two flames. Okay, so this is how he is seeing himself, as the twin flames. Okay. The Queen of Wands is in this energy, healing and forgiving a divorce or broken promise or alternative religion and or lifestyle. And Divine Masculine wanting to start, she's also forgiving that the Divine Masculine wants to start over in love and not settle this time for what isn't him, his authentic self. So let friends help came up for the masculine, as well as new love, retreat, and express your love from romance angels. Around the Divine Masculine, or how he is seen, is the 5 of flames. But only 2 flames were partially seen, with the clarification cards on top. Standing up to others and walking away and within to express lack of inspiration, feeling tired, or sexual frustration, or exploded in a temper tantrum, carrying too much burden after ending the war, because remember everyone gets confused at the end of the war of where to go now. 5 of Wands, or 5 of Flames, triggers release of tensions that were building at the full moon. Expansion in order to reset, which is literally the quantum leap. Masculine energy with full moon attention, or masculine energy with full attention to the Divine Masculine, the downfall of the patriarchy as the feminine awakens. Sleeping Beauty, Mary Magdalene, and I got deep connection when I wrote that. It was 152, which is the Queen of Swords. 2,000 years plus 20. Final judgment. Clear 2020 vision. The masculine needs to clear blocks of shadow work and webs, dream catchers. Letting go for a quick fix will no longer work. He must heed the call to action. Divine masculines and children, wake up. Okay, so this is the card that they need to clear, the blocks that they need to clear. Wake up through rest and prayer and meditation and time with self. This is not a punishment. This is about your self-worth, your self-love. Detox addictions and codependencies. Ulcers come up here, bleeding out from too much responsibility and living to die by the sword. Decrowned, living to decrown someone else. You know, that competition of really wanting to decrown someone else to get their spot. Competition that is unhealthy coming up. Love came up, like I said early on, as well as, and even more so, is parenting and perseverance. But today, of course, parenting is going to come up, but what the idea here behind parenting was parenting of self. Stand up for self. The only protection required is love, nature, light. Don't be afraid to dance. Let go of avoid dance patterns, which is delay. So this is the end of the read, where we have the Eight of Wands and then the Page of Pentacles, which in this deck is very much about discovering your abilities. Stand up for self. Only protection required is love, nature, light. Don't be afraid to dance. Let go of avoidance patterns. Delay. Express feelings of passion. Discover abilities without biting off more than you can chew. Allow the kids the truth. Don't protect them from the truth. And allow them to give their gold nuggets of wisdom to you. All in the family are a gold coin. Thus, the Ten of Pentacles, the ultimate family, because they each get to shine their own distinct light, while grounding and integrating out in nature with a nice big yard. And the truth of you, your crown, is the light you share with your higher self. Jesus and Mary Magdalene, Mother, Father, Christus, Sophia, it's all the same. There is no light without dark, so keep it real around the middle as not to suffer the repercussions. Play percussions instead. In the basement, of course. The dance across the 4D bridge to heaven sent. Scent of heaven is the scent of a woman. As we turn the page, it's 205, and 5 is all about the Hierophant, which definitely can just represent God. So we have the 2 of the High Priestess and the 5 of the Hierophant. In a heated exchange, the Emperor Tower and Ace of Pentacles is suddenly offering a new life. All right? We have on the 8 of Wands, the arrows of love, we have the Emperor with the Tower, both upright, which can be sudden event or epiphanies, can be orgasm as well, with the Ace of Pentacles, the hand of God offering a new life. Extending a hand, God's hand, with a gold coin in it. Use it wisely, it can be taken away, just as your parents always said. Just not by them. It's not in their control. Only the collective consciousness can decide. It's always a group effort, a group decision. Go with the flow. The Knight of Wands rushes in at the full moon to go get his coin and then return to the Queen of Pentacles, who's already holding hers. Even through the harsh truths exposed, she held on to her gold coin. She found her worth, her abilities to play with, zip-lining through the treetops like vines persistently going with the flow, the Queen of Pentacles and kids studying their gold coins, while the Divine Masculine just ran home to get his for show and tell. He's got a really big one. The full moon sheds light without choice on the King of Swords reversed, his untruth, refusing to use his gold coin, the stubbornness, now boldly moving and traveling in chariot to the stars, his dream girl, heaven sent. And that was done at 2:14, Valentine's Day, and 14 is the angels. So then Valentine's Day came up. And that there's Valentine's Day is 7/7 on the lunar calendar. And the Chinese day of that, this year, I don't know how it's pronounced, it's QIXI Festival, the Double Seventh Festival, or also QIAO Festival, is the Double Seventh Festival this year is on August 7th, the day before Lionsgate, 2019. That's the day of Valentine's Day this year. We also have, as I said, it's Korea, where 2/14 females gift to males, but on 3/14 on Pi Day, males gift to the female. And then many profess their love on that day as well on 3/14. But 4/14 is Black Day. It's considered White Day, 3/14. And then Black Day for 4/14 for singles, basically to mingle. They come together for noodles. In Taiwan, it's February 14th, but also they celebrate the 7/7 based on the Chinese calendar, or the moon calendar. But in Taiwan, it also brought in the colors and numbers of roses given on that day, where one red rose is an only love, 11 roses is favorite, 99 roses forever, and 108 roses marry me. So August 7th is that Valentine's Day. I think that's very important. And getting back to the read is the end of pain, not needing to know, coming together of twin flames to expand lovers, new love, working with crystalline energy through the portal of shadow, the King of Swords arrows of love, a wheel of fire spinning and flinging fireballs on their way to you to transmute, just like a tennis ball machine. You know, when the tennis ball machine throws balls at you to practice hitting? Well, the same is coming up here as the balls of fire being sent your way from the masculine to the feminine, just like on the playground, him pulling your hair, sending fire at you to transmute, to practice for the real thing. So you're basically students on the playground, both of you. The end of pain of lovers in knowing truth and balance, joy, love, the King of Swords crystal energy, and the twin flame portal expanding through the shadow energies to work with your psychic arrows of love. Okay, so that's the end of the read. So for me, that was a really beautiful read. And I'm going to do the oracle cards too, but I'm going to do that in a separate installment for you guys. Here's the basic cards for today's read. Okay, and then the complete read here. Okay. All right, guys. Drink your water, get your rest. You know what to do. Rise and be loved.